Let's get to story number 3 here. We love Expedition 33, and so does the president of France. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC News. French President Emmanuel Macron has praised Clair Obscur Expedition 33 for its success. The game's official Instagram page posted a bilingual message on Thursday, thanking players and referring to the game's French heritage. What a crazy week. Thank you to everyone. It's been 7 days since we launched Clair Obscur Expedition 33. What a pleasure it's been to see players from all over the world experiencing the game. We hope you enjoyed spotting the nods to our home country throughout. We're proud to share this adventure with you.
They're so subtle. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. The subtle nods to France. All right, I'm sorry. Keep going.
That's hilarious. Macron replied to the post from his own official Instagram account, praising the studio for hitting the 1 million sales milestone so quickly. 1 million copies sold and currently one of the highest rated games in history. And yes, it's French. Congratulations to Sandfall Interactive and all the creators of Expedition 33. You're a shining example of French audacity and creativity. The game was released on April 24th, has enjoyed widespread critical appeal with a Metacritic score currently standing at 93. The game sold more than 500,000 copies in its first 24 hours, and 2 days later passed the 1 million units shipped milestone. This number doesn't even take into account any of the Game Pass stuff. Jeff, are you playing Expedition?
I am, and I played the preview build that they sent out a few months ago, and immediately I was like, yep, this is it. People are gonna lose their minds for this game. It is one of the reasons why when all the sort of concern around Oblivion launching, like this is gonna bury this game. I'm like, don't worry, y'all. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fine, just fine. In fact, it's gonna break through. I was like, it'll sell 1 million copies in 2 weeks. Took a day or something like that for it to hit 1 million copies. It just has the juice. It is a game that fully understands what it is, and then when it understood what it is, like, and we know how to get the most out of that. The combat is so exquisitely designed. Everything flows into everything else. Everything pops off the screen. Everything feels so good to do. And I mean, like, everything. And it's like, I'm so excited to just get back into combat. And then it turns out, great story, great writing, great performances, a really great look. All of the overt Frenchness, the Francophileness of it, I guess it's not Francophile if they're actually French. So the overt, like, proud heritage that they put into their game is also fantastic. I'm like, I can't just wait to see what they're going to do next. Oh my God, a mime? Are you serious? It's so cool to see this game really find an audience. And I think it's the kind of thing that expands the genre. I think that there is, the JRPG, which, I think I get technically not Japanese, but this is a game very much inspired by those other games. So let's give it a little bit of respect and say it's trying to be a JRPG. I'm going to call it a JRPG. And the fact that they can be like, okay, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it in our own way. I think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes to be like, oh, I do like this. Why was I so standoffish with this genre before? And I think it's going to open the eyes of the people that have been working in that space for a long time.
Yep.
I think they're going to feel more emboldened to make games that have a different vibe and a different flavor. It really is just a singular game.
It's special, man. I'm making my way through it, and I am at every twist and turn just enthralled. I haven't felt this way about a new video game world in such a long time. Like, I'm a big franchise guy. I love sequels. I love going back to things I'm familiar with. Like, but being this into something and wanting to live in it and wanting so much more of it, like, it's truly special. And I keep seeing people talk about that have beat it, saying that it feels generational and it feels like this is going to be. My friend Professor Noctis on Twitter was saying that he thinks that this is going to be the Final Fantasy VII to a new generation, and I buy it, man. Like, there's something about these characters and the gameplay and just the story too about the game being made, like the team and their passion and the price point. Like, they just kind of nailed everything about this game, and I'm so damn impressed by that. And going back to the French stuff, I love the style of this game. Like, there's a swag to this game that I've never experienced in any other medium, honestly. Like, I didn't know that the French had it like this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game, France. Like, for real. It's all that, right? And it's I think it's a wake-up call that while we are having all these conversations about what is the future of games and can these publishers that are massive make this make sense. Ubisoft employs 14,000 people plus, and they make less money than they've made in a very long time. This thing is just waiting to implode. What's going to happen to these big games that we expect from these big companies? And it's like, look, the reality has changed on the ground. The engines are there, and they're mature, and people know how to work with them, and they can get more out of them than they've ever gotten before. The democratization of the tools has happened, and now there are several genres where we've seen this happen, where they go away, and then indie teams or smaller teams, or just nothing compared to the 500, 600 to 1,000 people that make a Ubisoft game or whatever. These smaller teams can enter these genres and plant their flag and say, we're doing this now. We don't need the biggest teams in the world to do it. And it's this breath of fresh air. It's this relief of, oh, these games aren't going to go away. They're just going to come from the bottom instead of from the top.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, my hobby is safe. We're good here. They're charging less money than for games that should be, that should be this price.
And
they're
it's on
actually
Game Pass.
hitting this price. Yeah, and it's on Game Pass, right? It's just got everything going for it, and it's I think it's going to be special long term. We're going to look back at this as a moment in gaming.
Yep, I totally agree, and there's something about it too that it's all of the elements lined up, but it all comes back to this is a game made by people for people. Those people are specific. They knew who their audience was, and they made something for those people, and that works. Surprise, surprise! Like it's so cool to see that they pulled it off, because like even my best friend who plays a lot of video games, but usually it's just Spider-Man 2, The Last of Us, or whatever, and otherwise he's more old school of a gamer. We grew up playing Final Fantasies together, like 7 and 10 and all that, and I got a couple hours into this game, and I was like, he needs to play this. And I literally I sent him a code, and I was like, you need just boot it up. I don't want to tell you anything. You're going to love this. And he's farther than I am now. Like he's been addicted the last couple of days. And I'm like, they got it. You know what I mean? Like and he's not somebody that is necessarily willing to just try a random game he knows nothing about. But like from the jump, it was clear that this game had the stuff.
Yep. Yeah. And people in chat point out this game got a lot of help from outside studios, and that's true. But that's true of like big teams as well. Like when you read the credits of something like, 1,000 people worked on this game, then you'll get to the point where like, and also we got help from this studio, and that's an external team. Like that happens on every game of every size. So it's like still working with a core team of around 30 people, and then getting contractual help from the outside. It's still a very different thing.
Yeah,
than,
absolutely.
1,000+ people working on a game like from that are all employed by Ubisoft. Yeah, I'm super impressed by this.
Mikey Mogg says, as someone who has only played Pokemon for turn-based combat, I love Expedition 33. I can't stop thinking about it when I'm not playing. Hell yeah. Dolphin Corn says, Expedition 33 is my favorite game of all time now. I love it. And like that's wild, but I mean, I also am not going to be surprised if years from now, you're not alone, Dolphin Corn. I do think this game's going to hit like that for people.
This episode is brought to you by Imperial. We have told you all how important it is to developers that you wish list the games you're interested in. So, if this sounds cool to you, make sure you wish list it. I can't tell you how much it helps. Imperial is a complex, feature-rich action RPG where you'll be sent to a planet in a far-off corner of the galaxy to explore an enormous, imposing monolith. As an elite mercenary, you'll join the expedition tasked with unearthing the secrets of the monolith and face off against the deadly automatons within. In Imperial, you'll explore 4 vastly different quadrants of the monolith, accessible only by using mysterious artifacts known as cartograms. Each cartogram affects which enemies, boss fights, and loot will appear when you enter the monolith, so no 2 excursions will be the same. Find even more cartograms to explore by looting defeated enemies, or buy them from other players online at the trading post. You'll need to make sure you have the right gear to take on the harder cartograms. Build your mercenary, choose your gear, master your abilities, and take down everything in your path in Imperial. Face off against enormous, deadly bosses and seek out secret paths to find bigger and better loot. Help the members of the expedition in deep branching quests and aid other players in asynchronous multiplayer. Get ready, mercenaries. The monolith awaits. Imperial is available May 8th on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. Wishlist now. It helps so much. Wishlist Imperial! This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. If you haven't called your mom in a while, here's your reminder to do it. But if you want to go above and beyond, Mother's Day is coming up and I have the perfect gift idea. Aura frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. Me, Kevin, and a ton of people at Kinda Funny are obsessed with our Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up the frame using the Aura app. Aura frames were named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and featured in 495 gift guides last year. I counted. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on the best-selling Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com, promo code Kinda Funny. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Story number 4. Did PlayStation fire Sackboy? We have to get to the bottom of this. This comes from Vicky Blake at IGN.
He works for me now.
PlayStation seemingly pulling its one-time poster child Sackboy from its marketing materials. As noted by Real Radic, Sackboy was notably absent from the PlayStation Productions banner at the start of the Until Dawn movie, although most of his peers like Astrobot, Nathan Drake, and Aloy still have a place. I can confirm after seeing Until Dawn that Sackboy's not in the PlayStation Productions intro anymore. I don't like this era of Sackboy erasure. Once upon a time, Sackboy was the golden child of PlayStation, becoming a mascot for the brand in much the same way Sonic is associated with Sega and Mario represents Nintendo. I wouldn't go that far, but I appreciate the sentiment. Now, however, Sackboy hasn't starred in a PlayStation game since 2020's delightful Sackboy: A Big Adventure. I would agree that game was delightful. He's not Sackboy anymore. He's Sad Boy now, teased another. While others lamented, why can't Astrobot and Sackboy coexist? Others had a more measured reaction. Sackboy being erased from the PlayStation Productions logo does not mean anything. DreamWorks also swaps out characters in their logo montage sometimes, said another. Jeff?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, they are de-emphasizing Sackboy for sure. Like, I mean, that's the studio Media Molecule, right? I can't remember the exact fate of them, but are they still a going concern or
they're still going?
I can't.
Right,
but there was still right. They had okay. The Dreams is done, and I think that there is no evidence that they are like all right, and that's because we're returning back to Little Big Planet or Sackboy or anything like that. So. Yeah, I think they have maybe moved on a little bit, and that doesn't mean Sackboy is like done for good or fired and never coming back. Will never show up again. I mean, it was in Astro,
and Sumo Digital did the most recent game, so it's not like it has to be Media Molecule to make a Sackboy game.
A good point as well. Yes, they found ways to bring Sackboy back even without Media Molecule, but I just don't think that is what PlayStation is right now. They are a different company. Like they are focused on more mature games, more broadly appealing games in their opinion. And I think Sackboy just doesn't necessarily factor into that. Again, that doesn't mean that they're going to toss him out. It just means like when they're spending money building an intro and they got to pick the characters they're going to put in there, I think Sackboy is in like that lower tier now. I think that's all that means.
Yeah. I know this is probably not going to be a popular opinion, but good fucking riddance. I don't give a shit about this little sack. Never liked him, never will. Enjoy Little Big Planet. Really enjoyed the Big Adventure game, but at the end of the day, nah.
Is this your like? You also don't like the Astrobot design, right?
I just think the design is generic for Astrobot. It's a separate thing when it comes to the Sackboy. It's just I don't know. I just don't like him.
Doesn't do anything.
I don't trust him. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't let him around my wife. Like it's a whole thing, man. Like, yeah.
You're right. I wouldn't ask him to watch my laptop at a coffee shop. You're right. I would be like, Sackboy, please. No, thank you. My kids love Sackboy. That Big Adventure game, they love that. They love dressing them up. So my one kid thought he's a meep and like wanted me to get a Sackboy doll and all this stuff. So there is some love for Sackboy in this house.
And I appreciate that. Just not in this house. Not for me.
Oh, yeah. I was never a Little Big Planet guy, so I'm all right with this too. It's weird how they how they decide this. There was a banner that they would have on the PlayStation website like a couple years ago, long after Bloodborne was came out, and it was like deep into the hey, they should do something with Bloodborne, and they put the hunter from Bloodborne back into that image at one point. It's like, are you doing something with Bloodborne? And like I knew they weren't doing anything with Bloodborne. So I'm like, this is weird. But it's like, well, they still want people to know we're the Bloodborne company.
Yeah.
And I just think that's like, oh, well, Sackboy, I don't think they care if people consider them the Sackboy company anymore.